We're now recording, and today is all about how to create a high converting webinar to sell your stuff while keeping your clients happy. We're going to show you how to do this with EasyWebinar. And I start off by always talking about this, like how would it feel to have consistent leads and customers every single month on demand with predictability? Because that's the problem that many of you might be facing. You're like, well, how do I keep a consistent sales process going? How do I actually get customers consistently? Or maybe you have a problem with losing customers, right? Maybe you have them coming in and then suddenly they're walking out the next day or the day after because they don't have like a high level of engagement or a connectivity. All right, that might be something you're dealing with. Like a lot of people have that problem. Customer attrition is what it's called. The other thing is that it's 6 to 7 times harder and more expensive to keep a customer than it is to acquire one. So it's like the goal here is, if you can keep a customer, that's going to help you in the long run, right? Instead of always, just having to acquire, and you can't keep up with acquisition because you have a problem with, you can't plug in the holes of customers falling out. I'm going to share with you a solution to that, okay? And what if after someone became a customer, you had a way to connect to them instantly to make them feel successful? Would that be exciting to you? And it should be exciting to you because that's what you guys are going to learn today, how a solution, all-in-one solution can be the way you can do all of this. You can have a business running where you can acquire clients consistently while at the same time give those clients happy wins, and it's very fruitful. And the thing about this is, if you've never used a webinar before, or you've never had a system that was intended for basically marketing your business better, then you're in luck because you're here and you're going to hear about the right system. So I very first want to start off with, let me know where you're coming in from and how you might be using webinars. If you've thought about using webinars but you haven't yet, I'd love to know what your business is and how you've thought maybe about using webinars in your business based on what you've been hearing in the out there in the world. Like what has motivated you for doing it? Okay, so futures trading software, cool. I like to hear that. That's awesome. Cool. Keep it coming. Let me know. And the thing is, if you are a consultant, business owner, coach, or online course creator, and you're looking for a way to sell your stuff more, a way to engage your clients more, you're in the right place. And if you're looking to do a lot of this on autopilot through automation, you should be dancing a jig right now. Okay, so here, that's what we're going to cover. That's what we're going to go into. Haven't used them yet, but want to move to reduce my, so I can, I haven't used them yet, but want to move to doing so to reduce my travel. Right. So if you're someone who's traveling around and you're having to do meetings live consistently all the time, and that's what you're doing, but it's burning you out. You're having problems with not seeing your family as much. Well, I'm going to share with you, webinars are obviously the thing that solves that problem. They're the one-to-many ratio of selling, right? And we're going to touch on that. That's what a lot of these slides and what talk about, basically, okay? And I like to share this slide with you guys because Mark Cuban had it right. He said, unless you have a reliable, duplicatable, scalable, and consistent way to bring customers in, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And the whole reason we built a tool like EasyWebinar was designed to give you a system for bringing in customers. And you don't have to believe me. Like it's not me having to convince you. All it really would take is for me to share with you what others have been able to accomplish with our system, what others have been able to do with EasyWebinar. I know someone who spends $40,000 a month on Facebook ads and brings in $200,000 a month doing one live webinar per week. So I'm definitely interested. That's awesome, Bill. That's really awesome. Cool. So how does this event apply to you? Well, again, creating a thriving business and getting customers can be a big pain in the butt. And I want to ask you, if you went on vacation today, can you honestly say that it wouldn't create more stress than enjoyment? Let me know. Is this you? I would love to know if you went on vacation and you had your whole family in Hawaii, if that wouldn't create more stress because you keep spending and spending and spending, and your business is solely reliant on you. You would lose money. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. And I understand that. So today we're going to share, I'm just going to share with you why webinars are the perfect way to rise above the noise with your competition, especially with how difficult it is with all the content out there. I mean, there's more than 1.4 billion web pages in the world today, more media being uploaded than ever before. And, to be able to separate ourselves out, it takes more than just, doing what everybody else is doing. And I'm going to share with you why webinars are just such a powerful way to raise the bar, increase your relationship with the people you're trying to communicate with. Use it as a tool to get in front of your audience, but at the same time, use it as a selling tool. Use it as a nurture tool for your clients, the people that are coming in. I'm going to give you tangibly the 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar. I'm going to share with you about automated webinars and the one tool that can do it all. Now, you should be able to see the workbook. Do you guys see that I have a worksheet that I popped in there for you? Let me know. Put a yes or a thumbs up in the chat, or a smiley face, or any type of emoji that we have there in the chat that you can grab, and let me know. Cool. So if you don't know me, I'm Casey Zeman. I'm the founder of EasyWebinar. Much of our always frees up in crap support. Exactly. We are not that. If you don't know me, here's my 30-second sort of intro here. I'm Casey. I'm the founder of EasyWebinar. We've been in business since about 2013. EasyWebinar was conceived and around that time. We built out a WordPress plugin for an automated webinar platform called EasyWebinar plugin. And since then, EasyWebinar has evolved into a fully hosted SaaS platform with and it's not just automated, right? Because automation, I mean, we've been doing it since that time. Built one of the best, the top 3, and I would say we're at the top actually of automated evergreen webinar platforms. But beyond that, we jumped into creating live webinars, and we wanted to compete with Zoom, the technology of Zoom. We loved what it was doing, and so we wanted to create a platform that would compete with it, and that's what EasyWebinar is. It's a no latency, high definition streaming system as well as automated solution. And you can take these live webinars and plop them into your evergreen webinars. This is being recorded right now. It could be used as an evergreen webinar that I use later on. I could repurpose the same webinar, flip the switch, turn it into a recorded evergreen webinar. No other platform does that. So the highest benefit of EasyWebinar is that it is the all-in-one marketing solution leveraging webinars, giving you live webinars, automated webinars, all the advanced tagging so that you could actually be able to add, know all the actions performed in the webinar and add that to your favorite CRM systems. And you're finally now having one tool that you're using for all of your marketing, right? And that's how people use our system. It's a webinar funnel builder and a live webinar system all in one. So it's pretty friggin' killer. Have a capital investment need to join this webinar? The answer is yes, if that is a question. Can't really tell. But for me personally, if you don't know who I am, I've been doing software and creating programs and training online since about 2010 to 2011. I've been featured in Business Insider as well as EasyWebinar has been featured in Business Insider, Entrepreneur, Social Media Examiner, Entrepreneur on Fire. We've had clients ranging from Amy Porterfield, Bob Proctor, Jay Shetty. These are just some of the people that have recently come on, major influencers in different fields and arenas. And we're super excited to keep it going. A couple personal things about me. We have 3 kids. My wife and I, our youngest girl, who's now not a baby anymore. She's like 1.5. And then we have our 2 sons who we brought over from Haiti. We adopted, and they're finally home, and they've been home for the last 6 months. It's been really a blessing for them to be home. And I was actually, just a weird trivia thing, I was actually an actor, and I'm a twin brother. And so that image on the corner down at the right is me and my twin brother in the TV show Life on ABC. I think it's ABC, one of the two, ABC or CBS. Anyway, that was me. I transitioned from being an actor because I didn't like being a broke actor. Actually, I went into being a mortgage broker. But this way of selling sucked. I hated doing it. I was making cold calls, pitching and feeling fake, and I felt like there had to be a better way to market. So when the market crashed, the recession, I don't know how many of you guys remember the recession. I'm aging myself probably, but it was a blessing and a curse when it happened, because I went from a job where I was making 250,000 a year to 15,000. That was terrible. I almost lost my house. It was a really big challenge, but at the same time, it forced me to find something that I loved. And so in 2011, while I was searching for how to build leads online to market my real estate company, I actually stumbled upon a bigger opportunity for myself, something that was actually more freeing, that I actually remembered and loved. So for when I was coming online, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to market. And I was looking at all these different ways to market my business. Nothing could work. But then I had a friend that said, Casey, what you should do is you should go into YouTube. Or no, he said you should do one thing that really resonates with you and let that be your marketing engine. And for me, it was video, because I always loved video as an actor, kind of went back to my roots. And so that's where I went into YouTube. And I started learning about YouTube and marketing with YouTube. But then what happened was I actually became a YouTube marketer as I learned all this stuff, right? And so I pivoted completely from real estate into being a YouTube consultant. And I remember it very vividly. I was getting traffic for myself, and I was actually acquiring clients. And things were great, but I didn't have a conversion method yet, right? So I actually wasn't selling anything online yet. What I was doing was I was doing client work, getting paid maybe a couple grand a month in retainer for 2-3 clients, and wasn't really sustainable, wasn't really working. So I actually created a course in about 2012, and it was all about YouTube. And I built this course and put it online, and I couldn't sell it. I couldn't sell it. And I didn't know why. I couldn't figure out how to sell this new course that I had, because I had this idea. I want to be a product creator. And so I put it out there. It didn't sell for several months until I had this vision, this idea to actually create a YouTube video, because that's what I was doing at the time, and promote a webinar all about the course. And that was my kind of first experience. So around webinars, because I saw other people doing webinars, but I just wasn't sure how it was, going to go, right? I was like, I'm not sure. And so I did that. I drove people from YouTube into a webinar. And that's where I finally started getting people signing up to my email list. I couldn't also build my email list up till that time, but then I finally was able to do that using webinars. And after I ran like maybe 2 or 3 live webinars that I didn't charge anything for, I had people saying, Casey, what's your pitch? What's your offer? I want to buy something. So I was realizing, man, I'm not doing a service to these people by not having something to purchase. So I then put a price tag on my course, put it out there, and that's when things started to happen. Okay, now it wasn't overnight. It actually took, it was a year process of doing this. In 2012, I started selling my course online. But in that year, it was very, very vivid. That was the year I actually started making money in my, being a course creator all online. And again, in that year, I did about $245,000. I built an email list of 14,000 people, all from webinars. And that's how it was. I still remember the recession of 1973 to 1974. Cool. Oh, nice, Bill. Do you do fake evergreen work, or should we say encore webinar? That's a great question. I would always say streaming workshop, actually. So if you guys want to steal that kind of phraseology, streaming workshop is what I would say. Okay. So that was my first experience with it, and that's when I started drinking the Kool-Aid. So it's been several years, and webinars have been the main thing. I don't care if you think webinars are not not viable anymore. I don't care if you you think that live video on Facebook is taking the place of webinars. I'm going to tell you a couple things. Like, webinars are live video already, right? Automated webinars are a better way to communicate a message without you having to be there. They are still a funnel. There's always going to be a need for funnels, right? To be able to translate a opportunity for someone that also builds a know, like, and trust. So every time I hear someone say webinars are dying, the maybe the name of webinars are dying, but the what a webinar, the benefit of a webinar and the benefit of live, of online, of interactivity through the power of video is not going to die. Okay, it's not going to die. um, and that's great. Caleb O'Dowell said he will make 12 million to 15 million in 2018 from webinars. That's awesome. It's exactly true, right? Webinars can keep you going. Beyond that, they are good for onboarding clients, right? Beyond just being an acquisition tool for clients, we use webinars as our what we use for our coaching programs. We use EasyWebinar for our coaching programs. We use EasyWebinar to create automated coaching programs. And so webinars are not just intended to be client acquisition tools. They are intended, they can be used as at any point in your business, right? And the cool thing is, if you just do a Facebook Live, you're not necessarily bringing leads into your own ecosystem, right? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms that are intended to be used as a marketing engine can shut down at any time. And if you lost all those subscribers, right, or those, those followers, then you wouldn't have anyone to market to, right? So we always say, bring people into your marketing through a webinar, bring people into your marketing, get their email. That's not going to change. Email marketing, webinars, they're tied in, right? Now, some of the cool things that we're going to be doing is with EasyWebinar, by the way, just like Zoom, you'll be able to take this same video and post it to Facebook Live on the fly. Right now with EasyWebinar, you could actually run a YouTube live broadcast through EasyWebinar. So you can use YouTube Live to host within EasyWebinar and then push that into your YouTube channel at the same time. What? That's pretty cool. What's better in your experience, evergreen webinars or live? That's a wonderful question. For me, evergreen webinars are great. They both are important in your business. For systemizing your business, I think automated webinars are wonderful because they are a funnel builder, right? And we need the power of a funnel to be able to leverage ourselves over and over and over again, to be our perfect salesman, right? So I use an automated webinar in a few different ways, and I can share with you how exactly we're doing that. I mean, I might just get rogue on this webinar, people. I might go in and share my Instagram funnel that gets like leads every day, that also gets people signing up for our calendar every day, because that's a high ticket funnel that we're using, right? I can also share how we use live webinars on a weekly basis to sell EasyWebinar, right? And how we use the follow-up and everything else, and how we close sales on that. So both can be used. You just have to systemize both, right? Yeah, and Bill is right. Evergreen, especially with our system, can hit 24/7. It can hit all time zones. If you have a worldwide audience, you can stream to everyone. There is a limitation to live, and that is your own bandwidth, because live is still requiring you. And also you may not get to everybody, right? Replays don't have the same effect as evergreen, because replays, people know that they can come to it, they can fast forward. But an evergreen webinar, especially one similar to ours that streams in real time, we have clients who literally run these on a daily basis and close $20,000 in sales a day. Now, that's not necessarily going to be you right out of the gate, but I'm going to tell you right now that those are funnels. They use our system to stream out webinars in real time that have the look and feel of live, but you're not lying about it, right? They call them stream workshops, and we have a lot of ethical parameters that we place around our software tool, because with great power comes great responsibility. We want to make sure that you are as ethical, you are positioned as ethically as possible, whether that's using our super advanced GDPR integrations, whether it's using our automation technology, while at the same time, we don't necessarily do like a fake chat, things like that. We are here to help you to generate more revenue while using the tool in the most ethical way. And our people, our people make and generate a ton of revenue simply from our technology. So it's pretty awesome stuff. Here's the thing I've noticed though about webinars, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you haven't done a webinar yet, it could be there's a few reasons as to why. And these are just some of the things that I put together based on what I've seen. That maybe you see big name people doing webinars and it seems intimidating, or maybe you think webinars won't work in your industry, or maybe you get overwhelmed with all the tech of a webinar so you never start, or maybe you don't want to look like an idiot or say the wrong thing on a webinar, or maybe you have a fear of trying it and failing, or what if you don't make sales, or I don't have time to do a live webinar. I've heard every reason why people don't do webinars, and every reason in the book, right? And one of the biggest things that I find is like, Casey, I don't want to look stupid. What if the technology fails? And I'm going to give this to you right now. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, right? You're going to have a webinar that crashes and burns, all right? It's naturally going to happen no matter what you do. I've had, and it happens to everyone. And whether it's the technology or your internet or your wife or your kids coming in and pulling the plug out of your computer, it will happen. So you having a concern about feeling worried about how you're going to look or have the perception of it, you have to get over that. The way that you get around that is you create an expectation, especially for a live webinar. So when you were asking Bill, or who was it? Huz was saying, is it better to do a live or automated webinar? You get about 85% less tech problems, maybe 90% less tech problems with an automated webinar. But a live webinar has higher engagement because I'm talking directly to your questions, right? Like Bill had just said, I have a storm wipeout electrically. I had a storm wipe out electricity in the middle of a big webinar. Right, exactly. So that's you replying to me, and I can reply back, and that's completely 100% live. The engagement is higher, but what you need to do is set an expectation, craft an expectation around what they're going to be experiencing today. It is a live webinar, so anything can happen, right? So just realize that, guys, right? And again, GoToWebinar, well, something might happen with GoToWebinar, something might happen with any tool. We are not infallible, okay? Things can happen. One thing that we know, though, is that we have gotten to a point where we are like, we've been working at stabilizing ourselves since 2013. Because of that fact, we've had more time to basically get our tool into the best position possible. So we have people that come to us and say, like, your software, like, it never fails. And that's awesome. And that's awesome if it never fails for that person. Me, it's failed for me a couple times because I'm a power user and I've been using it for years, right? So as such, I've had stuff happen. But the cool thing is that that this platform has gotten so stable that 90% of the time of a failure is going to be a user error, right? A user error. And that's the cool thing about what I can share with you around that, right? I've never seen your software fake, unlike most of the others. Oh, fail. I've never seen your software fail, unlike most of the others. Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of users using it from automated to live. And so, we take that responsibility seriously, and we just are always here committed to making it better and better and better. And you probably have seen this, that we have either updates or new features rolling in every single week. And I have a Trello board I can share with you of what we have on our roadmap for the next final quarter here. And it's pretty friggin' awesome stuff. A lot of other platforms never innovate. We are always innovating, always looking to see what we can do to make things not necessarily better, but even improve on little minute detail, from the user interface to taking steps out. If 3 steps to start a webinar, we're going to do it in 1 type of thing, right? And so we're always doing that. And that's the benefit of coming into EasyWebinar, but beyond the fact that we have a wonderful support system and resources and everything else. So now, I know that many people feel like, they don't do webinars due to all of those things, but the problem is that those Limited beliefs are complete bull, and they are positioned because if you've had your ear to the grindstone, then you've heard every reason why you won't succeed with webinars, right? That you have to be a neurolinguistic expert, that a bad webinar can tarnish your reputation forever. And the simple truth is that's all bullshit. I mean, it's not, and none of that is real. In fact, when I started out, I was doing terrible webinars. I would overshare. I had a terrible stutter, very bad stutter, like 5-6 years ago. And I remember one of my first experiences was in the back farmhouse of my wife's parents' place in Iowa. And it was the dead of winter. I had one crappy PC that I was using where I had no external mic, one screen, and I was doing my webinar and I was oversharing. The internet was intermittent, and I remember it was like a 2.5 hour long webinar. But that webinar, I actually closed $2,000 in sales off of that one webinar. And I'm going to share with you why. Because it doesn't matter if you do a terrible webinar, you are still perceived. You are still perceived as the expert. You doing a webinar is something that most people aren't doing, so therefore you are that expert. It's automatically building a know, like, and trust, no matter how oversharing you get or how many hiccups that happen. So that whole thing of like fear of looking stupid, it's a misnomer. It's completely false. I don't know where it came from or where or who invented it, but no, if you do a webinar, you will have success, right? Especially if you boil it down to two things. If you share sincerity and value, you'll have success. Okay, that's all you need to know, right? But what I am going to share with you are 6 strategies today. I will share with you 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar. You can write these down. You can apply them even if you don't become a customer of EasyWebinar, which by the end of this workshop, I have an opportunity for you to get EasyWebinar with some killer friggin' bonuses at a wonderful savings as well. So stick around for that. But I'm also going to be giving you the 6 keys to a high converting sales webinar. But if you forget, if for whatever reason lightning bolt hits your brain and you completely forget those 6 things, I want you to remember these 2 things. Sincerity and value are the keys to a successful webinar, right? All you have to be is sincere, be as genuine as possible. Don't worry if you have a stutter, or don't worry if you have an accent, or, don't worry if you're, if you put yourself on camera, like I could potentially do with EasyWebinar right now. If I showed you that I was wearing this hat, I had my glasses on, and maybe, if I for whatever reason have a facial defect, that shouldn't stop you from running a webinar. All right. Those are things that you're getting in your own personal way. So get out of your own way. Sincerity and value. Those are the 2 things. And when I talked to one of our clients, Jody, she had come into my coaching actually, and she was someone who had run a webinar, given the slide. She was given like these, the slide thing to flow with, right? She was given like, here, do these, create these slides, put these things in these slides, and you'll have success. Anyway, she completely failed when someone gave her that system. When she came into my coaching, I was like, well, you need to feel more connected with your audience. Right now, you are doing it's not, you feel inauthentic. And because you feel inauthentic, people realize that. And so people are too sick of salesy, too manipulative, and too fluffy. They want tangible stuff that you can give, and they want to feel like you are there for them, right? That you are like a human. We need humans, okay? So don't worry about the salesy webinars, and the templated webinars. Just feel your flow and you'll make sales. She, by the way, did $30,000 in that in her first webinar after I coached her, and she used EasyWebinar to do it, and it was a success. So here we go. Take some friggin' notes, all right? Get your pad out or take some screenshots while I go through this. I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick, and then we're going to pivot to one of my favorite ways of running webinars, and that's evergreen webinars, and why I love evergreen webinars, and how we use evergreen webinars, and how you can basically be using it too. So here we go. So these 6 steps are the key to a high converting sales webinar. The number 1 part is building a buzz. When you first start a webinar, you want to create an expectation and an anticipation of what's going to happen in the webinar. Do you guys remember the musical Cats? the musical cats, before the musical started, the cat characters would come into the audience and like move around and get into your lap and like lick their hands like they're cats. And it was really provocative and very odd. And as a 10-year-old boy, I was like, I feel weird about cats right now. But the thing about it is that it actually got me interested in what was coming, right? So with that in mind, create a buzz, all right? Give them an expectation of what's going to come, give them glimpses of what they're going to learn and how it can benefit them. So here's an example. By the end of this webinar, you'll learn how you can use this 3-part system to start selling your products or services successfully to a hungry audience within 48 hours, right? That's kind of like what you can do to create that buzz ahead of time. Here's some action steps. Welcome your attendees. Let them tell them to close distraction. Let them know that you're still waiting for more people to come in the room. You can incentivize them possibly to share news on their Facebook page, what have you, okay? Should be about 5 to 10 minutes, the buzz. Okay, how long is too long for a webinar? There's never a too long webinar, right? There's never a webinar that's too long. It's based on how many people are still there and the level of engagement and if you're consistently making sales. I say sometimes some of my best webinars are 4-hour-long FAQs where I was just on there live in the camera, looking directly into the camera and answering every single question that someone was having. It was over a 4-hour period. And I remember that particular webinar did $150,000 worth of sales simply by me just talking to my audience for 4 hours straight. It was like a 4-hour live Q&A session. Okay. And it was amazingly powerful. So yes, Dave, this is live. Huzzah. Number 2 is get personal. Okay. What do I mean by that? I don't mean show how friggin' awesome you are. I'm not saying that you're going to be showing your house and your car and everything else. What I'm saying is you need to show who you are, not all the awesome accolades, and that's it. But what you need to show is how your story relates to them, right? Everybody who is there, everybody who is coming to your webinar are coming for a reason. So share how your story might relate to them, right? This is a disarming of your audience. This helps them to know that you are like them. It builds a know, like, and trust, right? The secret to sharing your story is basing it on how it relates to your audience through empathy. So as an example, when I started out, I wasn't able to convert leads into sales, nor did I have a great way to collect leads in the first place, right? I was in my real estate business. I was cold calling and feeling fake. I needed a solution. And also when I came online, I needed a solution that would sell my programs, right? And because I went from a job where I was making $250,000 a year to literally $15,000 the next year. And so I was scrambling to come up with a way that would support my family. And that became creating a course online and running webinars to sell that course, right? And that was my solution, right? So you start to reveal your solution basically while sharing your story. And of course, my solution was webinars. And basically it's considered the uncommon solution because there's something that maybe in your industry that most people think is the answer to the problem when to be honest with you, it's not. So for me, when I was in real estate, it was like, oh, everybody's doing cold calling. Or people to go to Chamber of Commerce and try to muster a business there, and they do all sorts of stuff, and they try to offer so many different services, and they spread themselves thin. They find the wrong clients. Well, to me, the solution became webinars for me to not only get in front of the right audience, but also to craft my message the right way, so I knew that I was collecting and getting the right people in my network, right? And so I want you to do that too. Okay. Think about what I just explained. Then you can share all your accolades and why you're so friggin' cool. Okay. You've been featured here and here and here and here. Okay. Let's move on. 3, the main content and value. After you've shared your story, you're going to now pivot into logic. Okay. Heart and logic are the key to sales. You've connected with people on a heart level by sharing your story as it relates to them, but now you're connecting to them on a logic level, right? And now you're going to share maybe things that back up your story, right? Stats and market data to support your case, maybe show a trend, okay? And the appeal to logic is because many of us, we make decisions based on logic, right? So again, for any of you who are in doubt of webinars, webinars are used, and I remember I had a slide all about this at one point in my slide presentation where I showed the type of people using webinars, like the National Association of Realtors, different colleges use webinars. All of the main basically influencers online are using webinars, and we have some of those main people using webinars. In fact, I'm going to share some images from, how many of you know Jay Shetty or Bob Proctor, the author of The Secret? I'm going to be sharing with you how they use our system, and then also a ton of other testimonials. And so basically, that's how you start to appeal to logic. You start to show market data and what people can do. Name one top expert who doesn't use webinars. I can't. And here's the continuation of the content, and I just already talked about this, using case studies, right? That's how I tend to do it, right? And you might have a thing where you might want to show a flow. When I was doing YouTube marketing, I would take people from my presentation and actually go into YouTube to show them how to create a YouTube video, optimize it for SEO to get it found in Google, right? So I would take them in, they go into there. So the content can be a flow part too, right? Where you're actually showing how something's working, right? So just think about that. Yeah. The content and value should be about 30 minutes, and it should really highlight, that the solution. It shows the how and the or the what is the solution, why it's needed right now, and then the close and the pitch is the how they're going to get, how they're going to speed up their learning, how they're going to be able to implement this solution is your program, your product, your services, right? You are the solution at this point. And so that's how you have to pivot. You have to pivot into the pitch showing that you are the solution. So you're going to highlight your product, your service, the benefits of your program, but more importantly, the benefits of the benefit of your program. So not just, hey, my program is a webinar software tool that allows you to get leads and stream automated webinars and do live webinars where you can have live chat, you can have offer buttons pushed, things like that. Those are the benefits. Those are the features and benefits. But the benefit of the benefits are that people can sit at their house and stream out a webinar to, tens to hundreds to thousands of people, and it's the one-to-many ratio of marketing. Or you could be, skydiving over the Galapagos Islands, have your evergreen automated webinar running, and have people submitting questions to you in real time without you having to be there, while you're also noticing sales coming in all the time, right? And what that does for you, it gives you more freedom, it earns more revenue, and it allows you to spend more time doing the things you need to be doing in your business, like growing the business. Instead of being in the business, you're looking at the outside of the business and how to grow it, right? Those are the benefits of the benefit of what EasyWebinar does. In fact, I'm going to show you a slide where we had a gentleman named, I think it's John, who uses EasyWebinar and it accounts for 90% of his revenue. 90% of his revenue. I'll say it one more time just in case my mic is not working. 90% of his revenue. That's how serious we take our program. That's we take that responsibility very seriously, and that's the type of thing you can do with webinars and our system, EasyWebinar. So at the pitch point, you're going to reveal testimonials, hopefully case studies that you have. You're going to do a call to action. So you're going to do a bonus stacking and a price breakdown. So you'll see how we do our price breakdown, because I'm going to show you, what our price breakdown is, but what we're actually revealing on this webinar. So this is a very meta webinar, because you're going to see some of these things in action, and I'm going to show you our bonuses. And bonuses, by the way, should be something that people can get access to that are like holes in your business, right? Or holes in whatever the offer is. So like our offer is software. So my bonuses are all about how to get traffic to your webinar registration pages, right? So I have all these killer bonuses from experts, as well as some other additional stuff. And that's basically what a good bonus is. It should be things that help them to speed up their learning. And that's what you're going to be getting when I share with you my bonuses. And some webinar only bonuses. That's the other side of this that is really important. Fast action bonuses, webinar only bonuses. So if you're on this page, you're not an EasyWebinar customer yet, you need to take it seriously, because I have something that is going to benefit you big time. Stick around and you'll be able to get it, but you have to take action on this webinar. Okay, so you also can have a guarantee. If you have a tool or a training, a guarantee for 30 days makes sense. If you're doing a high-end coaching and you're actually doing one-on-one work with clients, I would not advise you to have a guarantee. I would advise you to have maybe a guarantee, but it's not unconditional. It's conditional upon maybe them submitting homework to you or something like that. Okay, make sense? You guys with me? Who's loving this stuff? If you're in, if you love it, if you guys are staying very attentive, just put up some thumbs. Let me know, or put a heck yes, or put a woohoo, or put an emoji, or maybe put in one of those like lightning bolts that we have as the boom, right? You can see that. I love that. Bill put in woofu. Okay, here we go. Finally, after you do the pitch, it's the Q&A. The Q&A obviously is all about answering questions, handling objections. You can have some, you should already have some of these in your back pocket. Like a lot of people ask us, you know, does EasyWebinar integrate with my favorite autoresponders? Yes. You know, how can I do this with HubSpot? Yes. We have a Zapier integration, all sorts of stuff. So think about what people's objections might be and handle those questions. If it's live, you're gonna ask people that are on the call. If it's not, go through, survey what common questions people have asked you and have those in your automated webinar, 5 to 10 of them, right? It could be related to the price, like, hey, do you have a price plan? You know, how long can I get the bonuses for, right? What are the steps I take after I become a customer, right? Those type of things. Could you also please give your actual clients the bonus? Yeah. Well, no, if you are an EasyWebinar customer already, you also automatically get the bonuses. It's already in there. You go into some of your early emails, you have the bonus list. Okay, so just as an FYI. So Q&A section, this is where you can also reveal your fast action bonus. You can also start congratulating buyers, and it should be about 10 to 15 minutes, because it's also then and as I said, here it's about 10 minutes. We have, this is what ours looks like. We have a countdown timer that goes, and then you can come in and boom, now they can get access, right? So 10 minutes long. Boom, you go from that to the final action item. So after your Q&A is over, you're now going to thank the buyers who came in. You can actually ask people to stick around, those people that were buyers, so you can show them the back end of your solution. And here's a cool little thing that works with that. By showing everyone the back end, you get more sales coming through, right? But you tell people that you're closing it up, but you're encouraging only the people that bought to come in to watch it. But you're not closing down the webinar. You're letting everybody watch it. That way, more people start to come in. That's just a little ninja trick. Another thing, you can actually use this message here. Just take a screenshot of this message, because this is how you could close the webinar up. This is literally how you can close the webinar up. There are 2 things you can do right now. We just gave you enough information to go take action right now to do this stuff yourself. Or you can come through and implement it at a much faster rate, which in turn produces a greater result in a shorter period of time, right? So you're going to notice what I'm going to be doing actually by the end, and I could do it right now if you want. I'm going to be showing you why EasyWebinar is the tool that you want if you're running webinars. If you've thought about running webinars, EasyWebinar is the tool that is intended for you, because you can start simply by running a live webinar and start to grow your business from there, and eventually do evergreen webinars. So no matter where you are in your business, whether you're just starting out or whether you're super in, maybe you're doing millions in webinars already, but you want to go to evergreen webinars. Maybe you are in a different solution or platform right now that's not serving you, and you want a tool that's going to be with you for the long haul, that has quality customer support, an onboarding call for every client, and 30-day emails that are going to show you how to get EasyWebinar up in the fastest time possible. That's the benefit of coming into our system, right? And if you learn nothing except the 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar from this webinar, fine. And that's all you did. You took those actions and you made money from the webinar. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember where you learned it. And then if eventually you start to have success with webinars, but for whatever reason, the existing platform you're using isn't working, come back to EasyWebinar, okay? Come to EasyWebinar, consider our tool, because we are not just the solution. We are not just someone who's going to give you the system and how and the training, but we are the software as well. So we are a software and a training in one, right? anyway, that's kind of my pitch to you early on, right? Okay, now here's the pivot from the 6 steps. I want to share with you how to create a scalable webinar business, okay? How to create scalability using the power of webinars. And with, now you probably understand that webinars are kick-ass. I helped me to build a 14,000 person email list within my first year, make a comfortable 7 figures online using webinars. But live webinars, you are still held to your own constraints of bandwidth, right? Or what happens if you're trying to do a live webinar maybe once or twice a week, every single week, and your voice goes out one week, and you can't do it, and everything that you're doing is tied to those live webinars. All the money you're making is tied to live webinars. That's a lot of responsibility on you, and you still can't necessarily go on vacation completely, completely cut out from the world, shut out from the world, right? I remember when I was going on vacation, I would do live webinars. When I was only doing live webinars from vacation, I would make money, but I still had to take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours out of my time to do it. And if the internet was spotty at the hotel I was staying at, that was whatever. I had no other option. So I would not make money. So my goal for you is to be able to run live webinars, but also start to pivot yourself into running evergreen webinars, which can flow for you on autopilot consistently. And you can truly take 6 weeks off to go anywhere, to go into the deepest, darkest hole if you wanted to for a vacation, and where there's no service, and still generate revenue on a daily basis. So Bill is saying, any examples of evergreen webinars to sign up to see the process? Yeah, I mean, we have evergreen webinars running all the time. We have client evergreen webinars. I'm going to share with you Amy Porterfield's evergreen webinar. Maybe I'll show you Jay Shetty's evergreen webinar. I'll show you a couple of webinars, and now I'll show you my webinar as well. Live webinars get most conversions, but time consuming. That's exactly right, Bill. So let's talk about the power of automated webinars. And as we do, we're going to talk about, as I said, automated webinar. So if you don't still know what an automated webinar is, how many of you know what an automated webinar is? Put yes in the chat if you do. If you're still confused, say don't know yet. Put don't know yet. If you're still confused, right? Don't know yet. But if you do know what an automated webinar is, just give me a yes or a heck yes or a thumbs up or any positive emoji. I'll be able to probably discern that you do know what an automated evergreen webinar is, right? Cool. Yeah. And so I don't have to explain it, but the benefit of an evergreen webinar is it's streamed in real time with the look and feeling of being live, right? And it's not just a replay video, because a replay video doesn't have that same commitment level as an evergreen webinar. And the power of EasyWebinar is that our evergreen webinars are, we have advanced scheduling options, right? And so ours is a very advanced marketing tool, but we simplify the process so it has a very simple user interface, and we're always tweaking and making it better and better for everyone who's using it. So it looks like majority of you guys know evergreen webinars, but let me talk about when to use evergreen webinars. The way we use it and the way a majority of our clients use it, and again, you could use it in many different ways, but like as an example, I use it to stream Facebook ads into an automated webinar. And so I can track my conversions, how much it costs for my, how much it costs per lead. And then from my per lead, I can know, how much my per client is, right? How much the cost is per client. And we use the webinar as a selling tool, basically. So we bring people in through this process even today, and we close deals, right? Basically, it looks like this. You send people through paid. Am I the only one here? No, Lion, you are not the only one here. There's several other people there here on the call. Great question, though. So you go from paid traffic or organic traffic to a webinar sign-up form to the presentation. You sell a quality product and you make sales, basically, right? And this is a traffic and conversion system using evergreen webinars. You could do live webinars with this as well. Can you do just in time or yesterday's replay? Yes, Bill, you can do that. We have what we call right on time, where you can have a webinar start in 15-minute increments when someone hits the page, or 30-minute or 1 hour increments. Or you can even have what we call, you can even have the replay, right? A direct replay, or a on-demand replay streamed directly from the registration page. And you can or you can even have both. You can have they have the option of choosing maybe watch the replay directly from the registration page, or they have an option of choosing a future time directly from the registration page. We are the only software that has both combined on. Which converts higher? It depends on the it depends on the industry. For instance, here's an example. We have people that are in that are marketing using EasyWebinar to CEOs of big companies. And CEOs may not have time to register and watch a workshop or event, even if it's in the next 15 minutes, right? So some of our clients, I know that one specifically who is a recruiter, they actually do an on-demand webinar where the person can register and come to the workshop right away. Yes, it sends them directly to the replay, but it is a way for them to come in directly, and that's how they're using it. I would say in terms of conversion for a normal audience, I think that having an automated webinar is a better way to do it. Have them register for the future. And in fact, here's a little tip. Oftentimes, you're going to get more people. You're going to get more people registering for a webinar starting right away, but you may not get as many people committing and sticking around. The thing that makes people stick around is kind of like onboarding or nurture, right? So you could be, if you set up a webinar maybe 2 or 3 days into the future, or maybe 1.5 days into the future, that gives you the ability to create a authority seating where you maybe have them consume content prior to the webinar starting that helps to solidify why they need to be at the webinar and solidify you as the expert, right? So consider that for your automated webinars as well. We have someone who uses automated webinars every single week. She only does one webinar a week, but it's automated. She takes she allows for people to register, like 5 days ahead of time, right? And she takes those days to basically build a relationship with her audience before they come to the webinar. And it's really helpful for cold traffic to be able to do that, right? And here's an example of one of our customers and clients, John Lee Dumas. He was doing live webinars, and he did 1.5 million in webinars in 1 year, all live. But the problem was he was getting burnt out. And so he came to me. We talked about automated webinars, and within his first, I think it was within his first 15 days, he did, I think it was $16,000 in sales from that webinar. And now, ironically, this is Dale Partridge, who also did this as well. No joke on the subject line. Already did 16,000 in 10 days using your strategy, using your software. Then he sent me another email like a little later that said, "P.S. made almost $100,000 so far with EasyWebinar." Right. And so, and all on Evergreen. This is one of our existing templates here that Dale tweaked and refined to match his brand. You can do this with EasyWebinar, or you can match it to your colors, add video, do all sorts of cool stuff to make it a really powerful funnel, right? Again, when John Lee Dumas was coming through, he was really trying to find a solution that would leverage his time more. So what we did is we came up with an auto webinar podcast funnel, and it was completely organic, where he created a free podcast course. From the podcast course, he would send people to the automated webinar, where then he would close sales. And he was doing this consistently. He was doing a webinar a week, but this allowed him to do only one webinar a month. And it was allowing him to generate massive amounts of revenue. In fact, the people that were coming into his automated webinars were valued at 243% higher than the leads who were not. So what that means is everybody who was coming in from the automated webinar, those were automatically people turning into warm traffic, and they were buying, right? Whether they bought then or whether they bought later on, it doesn't matter. They were 81%, they were valued at 81% per lead. Okay, so the value of that lead was $81 that came from the automated webinar. Whereas other people coming from other sources like a PDF download or something like that, they weren't that valuable at all. Does this make sense? Have you tested best pricing for conversions? It depends on what you're selling. So there's nothing There is no standard for price, but based around conversion. It depends on the offer and what you're selling. As an example, here's David Ortiz, a financial advisor who we helped out. He actually became, he was in my coaching program. And we basically created a funnel for him where he went from a Facebook ad to an EasyWebinar registration page. From the registration page, he had the webinar running. The webinar was a short, 30-minute long webinar. And from there, he sent people to his calendar, like Calendly link, where they would sign up for strategy calls. This was his funnel, and this was his high ticket funnel for landing clients. And he put this in front of just the right audience, IBM employees who have 401k, who want to keep them safe, right? And based on that, he started getting clients in the door right away. We turned it on. 9 days later, he had his first client. And basically, that client pays him $16,000 a year because he's managing their $2 million in assets, right? And this is what he wrote. He said, "Gentlemen, we have hit a home run. I had my first client call with a webinar participant today, and it went so well. He has over 2 million in assets. Love the way I branded and marketed my service. Thought the ad and the webinar were very well done, and I'm sure he's going to sign up with me. What I'm gonna do is risk profile and match his portfolio. Thanks for making my vision into a reality." Right? And so this works for different industries. If you have a service business, like I hear a lot of times, well, if I'm a chiropractor or a financial advisor or a high paid consultant, how do I actually get webinars to work? Well, again, it is about serving somebody a high impacting video, right? A high impacting webinar, whether that's slide presentation, whether that's you in front of the camera. It creates a know, like, and trust. It's high impact, and then you have a call to action, right? So it can work in any industry, no matter what. And so why add marketing automation to your funnel? Because it's a system, and system allows you to save yourself time, energy, and money, right? Here's Jason Caruso, who ran an automated webinar using EasyWebinar and did, I think, $13,000 in sales. And it was basically he couldn't do a live webinar. He had a full-time job, full-time family. And so if you're someone who has a full-time job and you're still looking to do this, you can do this, and it will allow you more time to be successful. Right? The bottom line is this stuff frees you up to do the things that you love in this world. EasyWebinar is a scalable and consistent way to bring in customers. And if you aren't doing that now, then it's hard to say that you have a business. I mean, Mark Cuban isn't going to pull any punches here. And most people find the wrong system, and the wrong system equals the wrong strategy. But the good news is that's not you, and that's not today, based on what I have to give to you. Because after spending 3 years and millions of development on creating a system that was perfect around this is when we developed EasyWebinar. So many of you know this, right? You blew through the system too quick. What do the letters stand for? Haha. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Alan, save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what the system stands for. And the system is EasyWebinar, which is an all-in-one webinar event suite that does both live and automated webinars, right? Right? And it was designed to do 3 things. Okay. And again, as I said to you, stick around, because I'm going to be I'm going to show you EasyWebinar in the flesh. I'm going to show you some new case studies that just came in. And I'm also going to give you a savings and a fast action bonus that you're going to want to take advantage of on the call while we're here. Can viewers tell if so-called live Webby is a video? No, they can't, Bill. The EasyWebinar is because, and it plays live anywhere, on any device, anywhere. And if people refresh the page, it's not going to start from the beginning like a common video. That's a video. That's the replay video. Ours streams in real time. So if someone leaves and comes back in, it's not going to start where they left off, and it's going to be still playing. If the webinar starts at 1 and it's 1:20, and someone that comes in, they're 20 minutes into the workshop. It just is what it is, like a live webinar completely. EasyWebinar was designed for 3 things: get you more customers, keep the customers you have, and save yourself time, energy, and ultimately money, right? Now, when I talk about get more customers, you run live or evergreen webinars that build a know, like, and trust that do the selling for you, okay? Or keep the customers you have. By using evergreen webinars or live webinars for onboarding your new customers, clients, and employees, you can keep the customers you have. Finally, Save yourself time, energy, and money by going beyond the one-to-many ratio of marketing that a live webinar allows and entering into evergreen webinars that ultimately duplicate your success over and over again without you having to be there, right? Now, this is the tool. EasyWebinar is an all-in-one webinar suite. We're basically a webinar funnel, okay? Huz, I don't know if maybe your internet is cutting out. To be honest with you, I see that my bars are good. Does anybody else have an issue with hearing me right now? Because if your internet's bad, that's what could cause you not hearing me. Everything is okay. Yeah. Nope, I hear you fine. So Huz, you are losing me because your internet is not going well. Just as an FYI. I have full green bars here on my side. I'm looking good. So full webinar and online event funnel. We give you a registration page, a thank you page, an event page. I'll show you these in a minute. We have integrations with the top autoresponders out there. We have a full-blown analytics system, reminder notifications, one-click sign up. So you can send people from your email system. They don't have to even sign up. They could just click on a button within your email and it auto registers people to the webinar. It's very cool. We use this for selling on webinars or selling a webinar program possibly. We have people that do it for, new onboards and stuff like that. It's very cool. We have a WordPress integration, which allows you to take EasyWebinar, put it into your WordPress site, but the majority of our customers, and this is what we suggest, we host everything for you. We are a cloud host-based system, so we host everything from all the pages, the streams, emails, everything. We will do it all for you, okay? You can use for our live webinars this system, which is the no latency, high definition live stream, or you can use YouTube Live. YouTube Live gives you the ability to add the YouTube video into our system, but still use the offers that we have that you can push out, right? You can use our offer buttons. You could use our offer buttons. You could use our live chat and use YouTube Wrapper and then push to YouTube automatically. It's very cool stuff. Again, automated webinars, that's a big thing about what we are. We started as such, and we're the top of the food chain when it comes to automated webinars. We do have timed replay pages. Cool thing about our system is that it's a full, as I said, full webinar funnel. So we have not only the webinar pages that are intended from the front end, but we also have a replay page as well for those that follow up after the webinar. And our replay pages will expire automatically on evergreen based on when anyone comes into the funnel, or you can set the replay page to expire based on a date. And what this does is basically allows you to not have to use other tools like Deadline Funnel or Plus This that have those countdown timers that have that automation to use with the system. Our system has it all done for you. So you don't have to spend gobs of money on different ways of basically different marketing tools and automation tools. We are an all-in-one webinar automation tool. Okay, so it's pretty awesome. Cool. We also integrate with the top autoresponders and CRM systems out there. So Drip, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, Aweber, Infusionsoft, Entreport, MailChimp, GetResponse. We have a Zapier integration where you can connect with HubSpot, any platform, Salesforce, whatever you may have. Now we have the ability to integrate on a deep level with those systems. Pretty cool stuff. You can push live offers and chats. We have the advanced automated scheduling, of course. You can run summits, Q&As, inter-office training, evergreen webinars. You could do product launches using EasyWebinar. So many things you could do with EasyWebinar. Yes, you don't need to use lead pages. You don't need ClickFunnels if you don't want to. However, we integrate with those top platforms. So you could use your favorite lead pages, any page builder tool, Wix, whatever, with our system, right? So you can embed basically one of our registration boxes on any other third-party page and it would look beautiful, right? It would redirect to our thank you page, or it would send to your own, favorite thank you page like Amy Porterfield, let's say, is doing, but you use EasyWebinar on the back end. So all the email follow-up, the streaming system, that's all EasyWebinar. And so I'll show you how some of our peeps are using it. You guys rock. You're always adding new functionality. Love EasyWebinar. Just ran my first automated webinar last week, made $8,000. Best auto platform I've ever used. Thank you so much, Mark. Guys, do you see that right there? I mean, if you don't take action today, then you know, then you're, I don't know. I'm tired. We'll watch the rest on a replay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. The fast action will not be available. If you see it above, you can actually click on that link and take action right now. I don't know why you need to see any more of this, because I shared with you why you need to be getting EasyWebinar right now. But feel free to, if we do have a replay, come back to it. Mark, thank you so much for the message. I really appreciate that. You rock, buddy. You rock. Thank you so much. So, guys, this is what EasyWebinar has here. Basically, as I said, you know, it has all the different pieces of a webinar funnel. So it has registration pages, thank you pages, the event page, all sorts of cool stuff. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Cool. All sorts of cool stuff. So instantly produces all the pages of an automated funnel. Okay. And if you've ever wondered what those pages look like, these are the pages right here. Registration page, thank you page, countdown page, event page, timed replay pages, one-click registration. You have all of what you need in one place. Casey, I have a suggestion. I love the functionality of being able to see 4 participants, but it'd be great if the functionality was for 10. That would be a very good meeting. Yeah, I'm sure. We actually are going to be rolling in 6, and that's on our roadmap. That's going to be our roadmap coming up here. We're going to be rolling in the ability to have 6 attendees, participants in the room with you. So maybe eventually we'll roll up to 10. But right now we don't have that. We're going to be doing 6. As I said, that's just the first start. As you know, we are always adapting and evolving. So just because we have 6 doesn't mean 10's not coming. Okay, right? 6 is the first step for us, and then maybe eventually we'll hit 10, 12, 20. Our goal is to match Zoom, right? Zoom, you can do that, right? They don't have the funnel pages. They don't have the automation. They don't have, you know, they have 1/10 of the things we have. Do the follow-up emails with the replay link have to be through EasyWebinar, or can it be through ConvertKit? I like to keep all the emails in one place. That's a great question, Whitney, and the answer is 100% it can go with ConvertKit. We've created cool ways that you can actually send. We had people that have always done this where they've wanted to use their own follow-up emails through their email system, but we've recently created a way to push out the replay link through your ConvertKit emails so that it tracks everybody hitting the replay page. It can show how many of those people see the offer and click on the replay page. That can be separate from the live page. So you can actually set up tags of and segmentations around the people that take action on the live webinar, and then people that take action on the replay too. Very cool stuff. So the answer is 100% you can use your own email follow-up for the replay. Okay, you can actually use your own email for the pre-notification, but I'm going to preface that by saying you can do that when you run a live webinar, or let's say an automated webinar that's streamed live, where it's like in one time zone, right? When you use our system for evergreen webinars, which basically means that you're setting up a webinar that's streamed multiple times in your attendees' local time zone, your own email system can't handle when to send those notifications out. Ours can. We know that if someone's watching at 2 p.m. in Dublin, that we have to send the emails at a specific time. Where your email system won't know that to send something out at 2 p.m. In Dublin and equally send out 2 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. You know what I mean? Ours does that. But if you stream out a webinar in one time zone, such as 3 p.m. Eastern, it will translate those times to, all parts of the world. And it doesn't matter, you can use your own email system to send out a notification, 2 hours before the webinar, because that's hard coded to one time zone, right? Does that make sense? Right? Our system, the evergreen webinars stream out let's say 2 p.m. or 15 or increments of 15 minutes before in your attendees local time zone. So it's hard for your own email system to be able to know when to send stuff out, right? Again, don't take it personally. Love this special offer, but I'm already a customer of EasyWebinar. I just need to get re-energized. No worries. I invited everybody in. No big deal. Alan, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it, man. Again, here's EasyWebinar. Choose a title for your webinar, right? And you know, here's the thing, Alan. You know, we have a lot of cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline for existing EasyWebinar customers, guys. We have, as I said, Facebook Live. That's going to be that you can stream out from EasyWebinar. We have the 6 attendees that you can do. We have we're going to have optimized templates coming out. We have more templates also coming out, by the way. So be on the lookout. We have some really, really cool things that are on our roadmap. And as you know, if you've been a customer for any number of months or years, we're always innovating. So in the last 3 months, we've had like a ton of just new experiences happening with EasyWebinar, and you've probably seen it. Just feature after cool feature optimizations, all sorts of stuff that have been really great, like the slides that we now upload through EasyWebinar, right? These are a slide presentation you can upload. Soon we're going to be giving you the ability to push a video through this live engine, so you can upload a video ahead of time and then push it out while the event's going on. And you could do what other people call a live webinar, where you start, or called a hybrid webinar, where you start live, push a video out, come back when the video is over, and get back in and just talk to your audience, right? And so not only is it we're going to have automated webinar, well, we already have automated webinars and live webinars. We're going to now fill in the hybrid webinars as well. So that's coming down the pipeline soon. So depending on when you're watching this, depending on if this is used as a automated webinar or not, that may be out already. Right? So these are the pages. You choose the webinar title. You create your registration page. You have a thank you page on there, bullets, video. I'm sorry, you have a video on the registration page. Thank you page. Really cool stuff. You put your headline, subheadline. Use our social share feature. If you're not using it, you should be using it, because it brings in an additional 15 to 20% viral traffic when you use it. And basically what it is, it's that middle thing, the arrows in front of it. But when people share news of the webinar on Twitter or Google, Twitter or Facebook, it will, or Google Plus at this point, but we're actually going to remove that. It will unlock a free gift. It can unlock a PDF. It can unlock a video. And we've noticed that 10 to 15% additional viral traffic comes in when they use that. It's very cool stuff. I definitely highly recommend you using it as well. The event page, if it's a live webinar, all you have to do is title it. That's it. You can have a description. You don't even need to have the description on there. And that's all you need to do. You have to maybe build your offers ahead of time for the webinar, just like what you see here. We have our offers that we can push out, close, and open at any moment. But beyond that, for a live webinar, that's all you need to worry about. For an evergreen webinar, we give you the full experience, so you can build out the offer, show when they push out and when you hide the offer during a automated webinar. You can upload an automated webinar from a previous live session. No other platform does this. So it's because EasyWebinar is integrated, it's all in one, right? So anytime you run a live webinar, that live webinar, we automatically record your webinars, your live webinars using the live engine here, and it will be, you can then push it into your automated webinar, and it's streamed perfectly, and it looks good when it's done evergreen. So you'll notice I have my camera off right now, right? And in the replay of this, it's just going to be the slide presentation, the big video, without you seeing me, the thumbnail version of me. Right now, you see the thumbnail version of me, but in the replay, you won't. Now, if I turn my video on, for the replay, you actually see me in the corner, but it's this circle version. It's not the same that is like this, where you see me right here. I'm all right here. I'm doing my thing, and I'm live, and I have my cat on, and you can see what I'm doing basically, right? How many of you see me right now? I should be popping in. And how clear am I? Am I pretty crystal clear? Do you see things lining up with my voice and the audio? And are you talking? Are you pushing out in real time? I see you. Cool. So that's the cool thing, is that the replay will actually not have all these bars on the outside. It will take the little image of me and put it into the actual frame of the main video here. And so it looks just great when you actually move a webinar from live to evergreen. So it's really cool. I definitely think, you know, the one of the biggest headaches that people have is like, how do I do an evergreen webinar? I don't know how to do it. The cool thing is that with EasyWebinar, run a live webinar first using this system. It's going to automatically record. It's going to then push into your recording sessions. It's going to in your recording file, and you can then select it, and it will automatically push into whatever webinar you want for evergreen. Or take a live webinar like this and toggle it from live to evergreen, and then now you are using the same URL structure, same URLs that you did for the live for the automated. No other system has that. It's really cool stuff. So anyway, the other side of this is that all the notifications are built within EasyWebinar, okay? Before event, after event. And if you just use EasyWebinar for all the notifications that we have available, you'll have success. But we wanted to make it to where you could integrate any of your favorite autoresponders in here. You could turn off these emails if you wanted to integrate your favorite CRM systems. But if you don't have any other platform, like for generating leads, let's say you just want to use EasyWebinar, download your lead file onto your computer and use the email follow-ups for EasyWebinar. That's all you need to do. You don't need to use anything else. EasyWebinar is a funnel builder tool all in one if you wanted to use it as such. Where do we learn how to embed or use EasyWebinar with lead pages, thank you pages? That is found in our support.easywebinar.com. If you type in I think third-party page builder or lead pages or ClickFunnels, there's going to be a video that pops up that shows basically how to embed our widget, our registration box, into those pages. Okay. The other side of this with EasyWebinar is that, yeah, as I show you can integrate with your favorite autoresponders or CRM systems, right? And it will track all of that. And you create segmentation, right? So you know you can create different campaigns going out based on people's actions. If they showed up, if they came late, if they never showed up, if they saw the offer and clicked a button, if they saw the offer and didn't click a button, right? What about encoding for different browsers and rendering on iPhone, not as a video? Can your software detect each browser? The answer is heck yes, Bill. We put a lot of time and energy into that to make sure that the video streams in the perfect, in correctly based on the different browsers and different devices. So it's going to be encoded separately and differently. Those are optimizations that we've spent years doing. So yes, we know how to do all of that. The live engine, by the way, will stream on, we have a iPhone app, we have an Android app for the live engine. If you use YouTube Live with our system, that plays on any browser anywhere. The only thing that this live engine won't play on is Safari yet, okay? It won't play on Safari, meaning that your attendees who are maybe watching on Safari will have to go to Google Chrome. But those who are watching from their phone, they can actually see it, right? So it'd be people on desktop that are only using Safari who'd have a problem with watching this particular training, right? But we have encouraging clicks for them to click through to be able to go to the better browser options when using the live engine. YouTube Live integration, you don't have any of those issues, right? It will play perfectly on any browser anywhere. It will play on Safari. So those are great questions. Hope that helps to answer some. The other thing about EasyWebinar, and by the way, the automated webinars never have a problem with playing on any browser too, because they are video, in fact, right? And we've perfected how those videos are portrayed on those different devices and the experience for people. The other thing is that you can connect to your to any of your webinars to any of the outside world. So third-party scripts, SEO, social meta tags. Basically, if you want to add Facebook pixels or audience pixels to EasyWebinar pages, you can. Google Analytics. You can add something like Get More Proof if you wanted to. You can add ManyChat. For those of you who know what those are, that's all you need to know. You can any third-party, analytic or third-party embed. You can do that on our pages, basically, right? You can also add all the social tools so they actually your webinars can get socially found as well as SEO too found. It's pretty cool stuff. And then we have a super advanced analytic system, and the analytics will tell you everything you want to know about those people that came in. It'll tell you different analytic. Is ManyChat already integrated, Casey? Yes, you can add ManyChat into EasyWebinar. Yes, especially now that, and you can do even beyond that. I have ManyChat going on one of my thank you pages, which brings people right into ManyChat, adds them as a subscriber. So they're getting a free gift from my thank you page of my EasyWebinar by going in to ManyChat. The other thing is, now that we have the Zapier integration, now you can do, I think you can actually be able to push the unique registration URL through ManyChat. So you can actually send reminders through ManyChat of someone's future webinar, and it can have their unique link for the webinar. Equally, well, not necessarily equally, but SMS is another thing. So with Zapier, you can also integrate things like Twilio, or integrate Call Loop, and or Infusionsoft to Call Loop, or Infusionsoft, or whatever CRM system you have, to those those SMS systems, and basically send notifications out around your webinars. And so it's very cool stuff. You have all of the complete things you need in a webinar system, in a funnel system, for getting people to show up to your webinars. Just as an FYI, we have people that have a 55% conversion rate from registered to showing up into the webinar, right? I mean, we have people that have it higher than that, but I've seen amazing results. We just had Jay Shetty, who came through, who had a 55% conversion from those who registered to showing up, which I think is really good. When the average out there gets to be about 30%, and when people are starting to say, oh, the average is 25, and keeps going down and down and down, and the sky keeps falling, I keep saying that our customers are still doing friggin' awesome, and they have a really really good conversion rate and show up rates, right? Again, the analytics will tell you everything you want to know about what people do. You can also see questions that they have, what buttons they clicked, and so on and so forth. You can download all this data. What's cool is that one webinar with EasyWebinar, you can run it live and then turn around and take the same webinar and run it evergreen. And then you can actually pull out the different analytics based on the specific sessions that you did, which is really, really, really cool, right? And so you can see, what was working on your automated webinars. Maybe download the chat from your live webinars, and it's just really awesome stuff. And of course, we have our live engine. The app looks like this to the right. That's me and one of our tech dudes who is testing out the live engine on the phone, on the desktop. Very cool stuff. We have been working on our live engine for over a year just to perfect it. And we've done so. It's our own proprietary system. A lot of these other tools that you see out there, they use some other streaming systems. And the problem with those streaming systems is that they cost a lot for the other competitors. That's why some of the other competitors have a much higher cost for their software. Ours is proprietarily built in. What we had to do is account for the cost of our servers, but we didn't have to necessarily account for our streaming system. And so that's why our system also, not only is it a better quality, but and scalable based on however many people come in. So we can have up to 2,000 people coming in or more to our webinar solution here, and it streams out great. And because of that, you're also going to notice that we have one of the most competitive prices. Not that should be a determining factor. I think a determining factor should be, does the webinar work awesomely all the time? And do we have a kick-ass support? And those things we do. But beyond that, we also have a kick-ass price. So again, I showed with you Dale Partridge. Is that Deb take a nap on the webinar? LOL. Is that I mean, you could take a nap after the webinar. Yeah, your support is amazing. Never go long without a response. Thanks, Mark. The one behind you. Wait, what? Oh, who's behind me? Oh, the bed right there. Oh, yeah. No, here's what's actually happened. Because our 3 children are now are in our, yeah, that is a bed in this is my home office. It's actually in my converted garage. You want me to see? Want me to show you? Basically, once our 2 kids came home from Haiti, my home office became the garage. So I actually converted all this, and for a while it was mine. And then what happened was we needed more sleeping quarters for my family to come in, and so we added the bed here. And so when anytime a family member comes or something like that, they sleep in the office, right? And so that's basically how it is. Elon Musk sleeping quarters. So, but you can see right here. Here's the home office right here. It's a fridge. So I got a fridge, couch. Here's the sort of the staging setup over here. So just in case I ever when for like interviews or people, I actually ran a live workshop here in this office with 20 plus people in here, and the couch and the bed weren't in here at the time. But no, it's okay. I'm sorry for saying that, but the cool thing is we ran it live here in the office, and we streamed it online to hundreds of people. And we did it using YouTube Live and EasyWebinar's integration for it. So if you ever had a moment where you wanted to actually stream a live event, let's say, a live in-person 50-person workshop, but you wanted to also stream it online and charge for that, you could do it. That's how we did ours. And so we had hundreds of people online watching, and we had multiple cameras, and it was really cool. And we had the in-studio audience who had microphones. And that's the cool thing you could do with YouTube Live in our system, right? With EasyWebinar here in this live engine, you can have 4K cameras, but the problem is you can't have multiple cameras set up, right? You can only basically have one person can use one camera at any time. But with our YouTube Live integration, you can have multiple cameras set up where you can use Wirecast or any third-party encoder with YouTube Live. Now, for those of you who don't know that stuff, don't worry. But if you have any questions on it, I have guys that do our live stream. They'll go out to you and help you run a live stream in your office, or maybe you have a live event that you need done. We have a live stream team that can do that. Push to EasyWebinar, and now you have selling tickets online too. Very cool stuff. And that's that just tangented me into that. So here's John Lee Dumas. Casey is responsible for igniting my online training, leading to 7 figures in sales and growing every day. That was a quote that he literally sent to me. Here's Melanie and Devin Duncan. Devin is the mastermind behind Amy Porterfield's stuff. He said, everything Casey does is quality. His teaching is authentic and actionable, and his EasyWebinar software is working incredibly well in many of our businesses. He cares about his community and we're getting results. It was very hands-on while we were getting set up with his software. If we hit any snags, we knew at any time Casey will come through, right? I'm going to show you a couple more. And we're going to pivot into me actually sharing with you so you can see actual like people that have posted on Facebook. So if you have any questions on this, but I enjoy Casey's skill as a coach. As Bozar came into my coaching system. Some people are good at teaching webinars. Not everyone is good at transferring knowledge. That's just about me. It doesn't really matter, but let's look at this next one. Casey has changed our life where we're doing 2 to 3 live webinars a week with a family and job. I was tired with the automated webinar. We don't have the pressure. The webinar is just running and people are so grateful. These guys are really crushing it with their evergreen webinars right now. They're called Learn, Do, Become. They've pivoted from the Power of Moms. They still do that, but they also have a new brand, and they're just doing really, really well with the software. So I'll maybe share some of those folks. Here's Amy Porterfield. She has funnels running with EasyWebinar. That account at the time that I talked to she and Devin for $20,000 a day. Okay, now I'm not sure if that's how much revenue is being generated today, but that's when I got when they told me this stat last year. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put that in the slide so people understand and know. Here's for a live webinar. Here's Kimber Luna, who did 900,000 in 10 months using EasyWebinar. Again, these are not common. These are people that have used our system, but they're not necessarily like the average everyday Joe. But these are people just like you who have had success over time. They got to that point. But we have people that are making great money. Like, for instance, here's Brad. He got EasyWebinar on Sunday, ran a live webinar, and he made $15.79 in sales for a 1-hour webinar. Okay, real fast, quick to set up. I mean, at the end of the day, what the price is for EasyWebinar is qualified because you could make one webinar could earn you $1,000, and that would pay for your 1 year of EasyWebinar, right? And moreover. So again, that's the way we kind of look at this. Here's Tara Bolam. She said, just finished my first webinar using EasyWebinar after switching from, let's say, another platform. Wow, it was amazing. My first sale came in, no tech issues. Question button was awesome. Switch between showing me on the video and PowerPoint. Great job, Casey and the EasyWebinar team. Sweet, that's awesome. Dave is saying, I just want to let you know I've made $107,000 since last August using EasyWebinar. I love your software and just purchased the 4.0. Here is John at the top. Now, remember this, I mentioned this earlier. He said, Casey, I'd like to personally thank you for your awesome product. EasyWebinar is contributing to about 90% of my income since I started using it in November. I'm making $20,000 a month without fail. I was making $5K before, so big thanks. Feel free to reach out anytime for new ideas or different ideas on the webinar stuff. Here's Lisa. Looking forward to my next successful webinar with EasyWebinar. I'm so glad I bought the software. It's made my life so much easier, and I'm really starting to enjoy hosting my live webinars. Next step, automated webinars. Here are just some more folks. Here's Tanya Silva. I'm going to share another Tanya as well in a minute here. She said, so I stuck with my commitment. I launched my first live webinar on Sunday, and I was super impressed with the amount of support and feedback I received. To be honest, the only way you're going to know how to work this stuff is by taking action. I really love that she said that. That's why I shared this one. Here's Joshua. He is a priest, actually, using this. Tanya above is a health coach. Joshua is bringing more people into his congregation. This is how he was using it. I just started using the just-in-time feature for my opt-ins, and it appears then my opt-in rate has just jumped to nearly 50% or a little higher. That's pretty great. My attendance is 64%. So for those of you who don't understand webinar talk, that means more people are coming to his webinar, and he's basically closing more people into his congregation and just getting people on. So it works for really any type of industry. Here's Gina. Love this. I did my first easy webinar today. I have one more this evening, and it went great. That's off of Twitter. And here's my friend Alana, who, when Alana came to us, she had never made money off of webinars. Then she started using EasyWebinar, and within like 4 months, she was doing. She did $10,000 or more off of her automated webinar. And then a couple months later, she started to generate more and more revenue. I think 4 months after that, she was at the 50,000 mark. And just recently, about last month, she wrote me and said, Casey, we're on track to do $1 million this year. And I just want to thank you, and also trying to find out about Facebook strategies and stuff like that for scaling and things like that. So anyway, that's what is possible. You can start out slow and work your way up, and that's what EasyWebinar is here for. It's for those who want to scale in their business. So my final thoughts is the best time to do a webinar is right now, okay? So let's talk about the investment. For those of you who are still on, if you don't have EasyWebinar, how many of you don't have EasyWebinar? Put in the chat, not yet, okay? Put in the chat, not yet. And then of those people, how many of you are going to get EasyWebinar? How many of you are like, yes, I'm going to get EasyWebinar? I'd love to know. How many of you are already saying, I'm going to get it? Yes. So I have Bill, who's already saying he's going to get it. Anyone else? Not yet or going to get it? If you don't have it yet, are you going to get it? Is that the plan? Is that why you're here today? I just want to get clear on that, so I'm sure. And let me get into the investment so you guys know what is available for you today, why it's powerful, and why I'm excited. So basically, we initially decided that an investment of $9.97 paid annually for EasyWebinar's base price, which is basically 100 live attendees using the live engine. It's unlimited attendees for automated webinars and unlimited attendees for evergreen webinars. We thought that was a pretty good steal, right? Because here's the deal. Just one live webinar with, let's say, 30 attendees selling a 1K product through EasyWebinar could easily recoup that investment 3 times over, because that's a 10% conversion rate, which is conservative using EasyWebinar, right? Right? So, or if you have one evergreen webinar selling your course, your product, your coaching, your service, it could be your main source of income, like many of our other customers, like John here, who, as I said, EasyWebinar is contributing to about 90% of his income, okay? Now, especially also considering that other software like GoToWebinar, which only does live webinars and replays, charges $1,068 for their 100 attendee package, and it only does live webinars. It doesn't have live, it doesn't have evergreen, it doesn't have expiring replay pages and unlimited live attendees using YouTube Live. It doesn't have all of that stuff, right? But then we thought that we not only wanted to have a better feature set for marketing your business by creating awesome live and evergreen webinar funnels, but we also realized that we wanted to do it at a fraction of the price. So instead of $997, which is still less than GoToWebinar, we decided on dropping it even more to $699, okay, which is broken down to about $58.25 a month, okay? Which is cool. And it gives you all the stuff. It gives you the 100 live attendees. This is the base level, right? So if you're someone who wants to get into EasyWebinar, if you think you're not going to have more attendees than 100, this is the one to jump in. You can always upgrade to a future level, right? We have packages up to 2,000 and beyond, basically. And we never cap you, by the way. So even if you go beyond 100, after you get this package, we will charge you for the next 100 people. Okay, for the next 100 people after your first 100, it's only $15 per webinar. So you can tell when you start to push beyond 100, and maybe you run 4 or 5 webinars where you're at 150 and you're being charged, $15 per every live webinar beyond that, right? Maybe at that point you're like, I think I'm going to upgrade to the next package. So at that time you could do that. And if we only plan on using evergreen webinars, then yeah, I mean, this is the only package you need. This base level is the only package you need for running evergreen webinars, because you get all the bells and whistles of evergreen with this level. And in this webinar, this is where you're going to get the best deal, and a couple extra goodies and bonuses that you can get. Okay, so you get the unlimited attendees using evergreen webinars. You also get unlimited attendees for YouTube Live. You get all the push button offers, live chat, private and public, co-presenter functionality, right? You get all this stuff. Email hosting, responsive, customizable, and high converting pages, analytics, CRM integrations, time replay pages. As I said, all the things. But on this webinar, we actually decided to do a little bit better and drop the investment down to the yearly for $591. But you have to get the yearly package, okay? You pay the year at $591, and that keeps you in the $591 for years and years and years to come. So you're never having to increase, you're never having to pay more. It locks you into $591 a year, but you have to use that coupon code, the promo code demo special to get it, okay? The demo special, all right? Again, $699 is what the cost is on the, if I were to even go in, actually, if you go to EasyWebinar right now and you were to go to our pricing page, our pricing on EasyWebinar right now for the annual is $708, okay? So if you were to pay for the annual, it's $708. But if you get the annual today, from this webinar, it's only $591. Okay, $591, right? So we've actually tweaked the pricing since I made these slides. So $699 was, it's actually $708 is the standard package without this discount. So you get the demo special discount, but I also have some other killer stuff for you. Okay, yeah, it gets you all the things, but when you take action today, I'm actually going to roll in a $1,900 bonus package. And to be honest with you, here's the thing. I give this bonus package to anyone who comes in EasyWebinar. Even if you buy off the sales page, you're going to get this $1,900 bonus package, okay? That's not the true incentive for coming in today from this workshop. I have not only the two incentives for coming in today from this workshop is you get the, I'm going to show you a fast action bonus that you're going to get, and you get the discount, okay? You get the more than $100. It's like $120 off the discount, which is pretty cool. And of course, I can brag about you at that point. You're also going to be getting an onboarding call straight away once you come in, getting an email with the bonuses, and you're going to be getting an email with a setup into my my fast action bonus, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, after I share with you a little bit about what those $1,900 bonus package is. Again, all this stuff relates to building getting people into your webinars. So I teach you about how you can use YouTube to get into your webinars. How actually you can use things like Camtasia or ScreenFlow to create your automated webinars. But the thing is, with EasyWebinar, you don't need those other tools now to create awesome live, evergreen webinars. All you need is EasyWebinar now, and it's so cool. In fact, I'm going to probably go in, tell my guys to completely remove the information on how to create evergreen webinars, other than using EasyWebinar to run it live, and then record it and plop it into the evergreen webinar, because it's so revolutionary. We've intentionally made our live replay. So once this becomes a replay, we've intentionally made that to look perfect for a live event, an automated or evergreen webinar. Okay, so that's the difference that you're getting here with us. We have interviews with some of our top peeps. They'll talk about their strategies on and how they implemented strategies using EasyWebinar for automated and live webinars. We have Lo Silva, who teaches about LinkedIn for driving traffic. Miss Social Media, or Self K Buck Jr. for using Twitter. I'm also going to be giving you my launch stream promo video and registration masterclass. Okay, you get my promo video checklist, which is like how to create a high converting promo video that drives traffic into a webinar, basically from, like, let's say Facebook ads. You also get my how to live stream like a superhero event and my superhero checklist. So I'm going to give you the tools I use for my webinars, like the Logitech C920 camera, what kind of mic I use, the whole setup, right? Dual monitors, how I angle. If you ever notice, my office kind of changed, where this was the background and now this is the background. I kind of have to do something about that. You know, at the time I was like, get your background set up, get everything ready. I don't like green screen. Some people like green screen, but I like dimensions in the back. So that's how I kind of set up my stuff. Anyway, you get all that, and you get access to our private Facebook group as well, which is pretty awesome. But my fast action bonus today, and this is why I definitely think you need to come in today, is that I'm going to give you my Elite Webinar Mastery Foundation course. Okay. And this is the first module, which includes, like, I think 10 videos in there, right? I'll look in a minute here. We're going to go to the next slide. The first module of my online program, Elite Webinar Mastery. It's the membership program, and that membership program costs $2,000. But you get access to the first module, and that module teaches you everything you're going to want to know about creating your first webinar. So if you're unsure of what your webinar topic should be, or how to craft your webinar, or even if you are attracting the right audience, like, here's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, well, I know webinars, or I know what my business is. I've done avatar work and yada, yada, yada. Well, this foundation program is going to help you. It's going to actually give you training around your avatar that you never thought about. And it's going to be extremely powerful for you, right? So we'll not only do that, but we'll actually, this course will give you a crystal clear foundation in order to start tackling your webinars the right way from the beginning. This will save you months of spinning your wheels going down the wrong path. And by the end of this course, you'll have your webinar topic, the message for your webinar, and the most effective way to present your webinar based on your audience. Plus, you'll get clear on what tools you need for your online business and using webinars. You'll also learn about what presentation software to use and the tech as well. It's really, really hands-on. So there's eight sessions that all come with not only video, but also downloadable worksheets and things like that, right? And you would send us homework, and you go through that. The intention behind this is that you go through this program, it will get your webinar up and running. If you also apply the 6 strategies that I taught you in this webinar, you will have a high converting webinar. You'll be ready to go using EasyWebinar. It gets you to getting a webinar out there faster than ever before. And that's the power of this. And that's why this is so important for you to come in now to be able to get this as an additional bonus when you come in. I mean, it's an incredible bonus. It's valued at $300, but it's actually probably more than that, because this is the groundwork of of building out your webinar. Colin, if you want to reach out to me, you can do so. Or I have an opportunity for those who want to get the full course of EasyWebinar. You can, or Elite Webinar Mastery. I can do a special for EasyWebinar peeps. Okay, that gets you not only module 1 but all 4 powerful modules. So anyway, reach out to me. You can email me at Casey@EasyWebinar if some of you are EasyWebinar peeps and you want to get access to the full course. So the total value is $2,200, right? And it all comes when you get EasyWebinar. You should be able to see the offer tab. There should be a link at the top of the chat that says webinar special. Let me know if you see it. If you click it and it takes you to a page, please do let me know if you see that. We also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, if you can't get your webinar up, we will come in and try to get it up for you. If for whatever reason it's not working out, you can have your money back. We want to make sure that you're a success. We have an onboarding call that everybody gets on. And if you have any problems, my team is here to help you, right? So just be aware of that. We are someone who wants you to succeed. So we're going to be more hands-on than probably any platform that you've ever been with, okay? So you can go to easywebinar.com/webinar special, but use the promo code. This is where some people get confused. Don't use the promo code webinar special and use the promo code demo special, right? So demo special, when you come to the page, it's going to be basically demo special. Okay. I just want you to be super clear on that so you're not confused. What I'll do right now is I'm going to flip my screen around so you can see, well, basically where you're coming in. Is support 24/7. Basically, because we have a development team overseas as well, and so if we normally stay within within Eastern time zone, pretty much Central time zone is where we live. Basically, like our peak hours are probably 9 to noon in my Pacific time, but we have support available 24/7. Yes, it would be chat support. Typical response time for us is definitely under an hour. During our peak times, during the times when we have our HD staff during the day, during the week, around Central Time, you can get an answer to your questions within minutes, right? Seconds sometimes. If it's late at night or weekends, chances are over the weekend you're not going to get as fast of a response. But late at night, you will get a response. Chances are it won't be potentially right away. It depends. But we do have people that are working the help desk at night, okay, at night, because that's where our tech team is. So we are basically a virtual team. We have people. That's why I'm in my home office, because we have people that are in Michigan, in Minnesota. We have people in that are in Ireland. We have people that are in India. So we have staff and team members all over the place, and that's what allows us to basically be available in a basically 24/7. While at the same time, it keeps us really agile and we can do a lot. That's why we also grow on a very rapid basis and add new functionality and are doing a lot of things on our roadmap. Again, so that's what you get. You get the fast action bonus, $1,900 bonus package, access to the Facebook group, free onboarding training. You also, you get EasyWebinar. You get all the bells and whistles of it. Let me just show you quickly what you are going to be getting. I'm going to be sharing my screen here. Okay. Yep. So I have to stop sharing my slides. So stop sharing my slides. Here's me. Hello, hello. I've got my hat because my hair is a mess. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in and share my screen. So my entire screen, I'm going to share this one right here. So here is the screen. So you can see the screen of EasyWebinar, right? This is the pricing page. But what I'm going to share with you is, you should be able to come to this. .com. Okay, /webinar. I think it's a webinar special, right? Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to go into this offer and click this button. Okay, And now I'm going to go into Safari. If you come to this page, guys, are you able to hit this page? Hello there. What should be happening? Let me just go into a new private window. There we go. So once you click that button, oh man, it keeps redirecting me. Once you guys click that button on the from the webinar special, are you brought, what page are you brought to? It does a redirect. So it is doing a redirect right now. So what you guys are seeing is it's not actually letting you into the page. Okay. So I was wondering if that was the case or not. We have this set up with some, basically some automation through ClickFunnels. And so it's ClickFunnels that's causing a little bit of a problem for us. So let me actually do this. We see your screen. I know you do. Well, I'm going to have you do this. We're going to do this on the fly. So if it's redirecting, not letting you in, I'm going to actually fix that problem for you right now. Okay. We're going to go into here. I'm just sharing with you how we do it. The other cool thing that I will show you is that, yes, you can add embeddable widgets with our system here into EasyWebinar. So I actually thought that that might be causing some problems. So 1 second, tracking codes, deadline funnel. I'm going to just remove this. There we go. Because it's just not working the way we want it to work. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to preview. Okay. So this is kind of what the page will look like. So now, can you try to click on that link one more time to see if you can actually come through now for those who are at the page? So basically, it's bringing you to a special page that has a video from me talking about the offer and the way it works. Cool. The way to do it, if you want to get the standard package at the $591, you click on I want EasyWebinar Standard. Okay. Below that, you'll see customer testimonials and all sorts of stuff. Now, what's going to happen is going to bring you to this page. This page right here is basically an opportunity for you to upgrade to our agency level. So an agency level is where we give you an additional 5 EasyWebinar accounts. So you get if you get one account, if you get the agency, we'll add 5 more accounts. So if you have where it's powerful is, let's say you have clients and you're a marketing expert. So if you're someone who is a marketing expert and you want to roll in webinars into your book of business, you can actually get the agency level. And now your customers, your clients can have their own login to EasyWebinar. They'll have their own URLs for EasyWebinars. Basically, you get 5 to 6 EasyWebinar accounts in one, basically. And so you can watch this video, learn about it. If you want to use EasyWebinar just for yourself, you're not going to use it for clients or anything like that, then you would click on down to here. No, thanks. I don't plan on using EasyWebinar on clients. I just want this one. So you click here. Okay. This will take you to the checkout page for what we consider the personal or standard account. Okay. Again, this is not something you can get from our sales page, right? Our sales page, there's obviously you can't get direct access to this stuff from our sales page. It's only from the webinar. So that's why we have these steps, and that's why it looks different, because it's a special like entry point, right? So what you're going to do is enter your promo code here, and it is demo special. Okay, and you're going to apply. It's $591. You can complete your purchase. Once you're done, what if I need more than 5 sub-accounts? That's a great question. So inside of EasyWebinar, if you wanted to start with the 5, you can always upgrade with more. You can have an unlimited number. I think we allow you to have an unlimited number, and then it becomes like $20 a month for any add-on user after the first 5. But for the first 5, if you did want to come in at the 5, how it would work is, let's say you come in, the demo special works at that price too. So let's say you click here and you do want the, the agency, what we used to call the commercial license. That's why, so don't get confused by commercial and things like that. We describe what exactly you're going to be getting, 5 additional accounts, right? And when you use the promo code demo special, apply, it's going to bring you from this price, the 2076, to 1764. And that's what you're going to pay on a yearly basis for 5 additional licenses. Okay, lead pages is $12 per client after 100 accounts. Yeah, but here's the thing. Those are sub users. Those are not new licenses. This is a reseller license. Let me be really clear. A sub account is where you have your team that can log in to the same friggin' thing. This is basically a new EasyWebinar account that you as the admin get full access to. You can see the other accounts that your clients can get into, but they also get the same package that you're getting. So if you get this package, you get the 100 attendees using the live engine, unlimited automated webinars. Your clients get the same package. They're getting the 100 attendees and unlimited automated webinars, and so on and so forth, right? It's not like they're not tacked onto your account. They're getting their own account, and you get full access to that account. Does this make sense? So it's completely different, right? And I'll show you what this is. So if you were to go in, here's basically EasyWebinar, right? Here's EasyWebinar, and if you get the if you get the 5 user license, basically you can add up to 5 users, right? They get their own login, right? So what you do is you add a username, first name, last name. You decide if you want them to be a user or an admin. You put their email, you put password here, and you can actually send this to them, right? And then it will create the user, and it will then give them their own login. And the cool thing is now you know their password. You can log into their own system and do whatever you want with it. You can be the super admin on this. You can also give the admin access to maybe your team, right? So give admin access to your team to then be able to come into other accounts. So I could charge them a monthly fee. Yeah, the whole idea of this is that you could charge them whatever you want. It becomes a reseller license. You can say, listen, EasyWebinar costs this. If you go to the website, this is what it costs for this level that I've been able to procure for you through a partnership with EasyWebinar, right? And now, with this partnership through EasyWebinar, now you can actually have your own account with 100 attendees live, unlimited automated webinars, and so on and so forth. And I'm only going to charge you X, right? So it's actually, yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So you can charge them whatever you want, and maybe you want to charge them for building out their webinars, right? So if you are a marketing agency, this level is pretty awesome. If you're a marketing agency, I would definitely suggest you picking up this, because it's going to give you the ability to use webinars in your business, webinars for your clients, and then charge whatever you want. Does that make sense? If you guys are into this or understand this, let me know. Put in the chat if you get it. Here, I'm gonna just it's really cool. No other system has something like this. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you some of the cool things you could do with EasyWebinar. First off, any webinar you do live that you decide to turn the recording on, it's going to any webinar you do live is going to push into your recordings, right? Like as an example, here's me. I don't remember what this webinar was or is, but it's me. I haven't turned my camera on. I can't remember what this was for, but it was me in front of the camera. Oh yeah, and here I'm like messing around with this. Yeah, okay, that wouldn't be a good example, because that's literally me doing some stuff here. But here, let's say you want to see what the experience looks like when you're running a live webinar. This is this is kind of what it looks like. So I ran it live, and this is the recording, right? And you don't see me, you don't see a thumbnail or anything like that because I had my video off. But when I finally did turn my video on, it was literally just me in the corner. Let me see if I can show you kind of what this, how this flow looks. There I am right there. So basically, when it goes into an evergreen webinar, you're going to see this little icon person in the corner. And instead of how you see it now, where I'm the thumbnail on the bottom, we take the whole thing and make it so it's 16 by 9, and we bring the video up. And it's just a really powerful way to do it. The other thing is, like, when you go into your webinars, this is your dashboard. So when you become an EasyWebinar customer, you're coming into your dashboard here. You can go live on the fly. Click here, start a live webinar on the fly, bring in your attendees, share the attendee link, and you can bring people in right away. This is what we suggest. If you've never run a live webinar, we say, hey, just start off and do it. So that's one of the things we suggest. If you're going to do an automated webinar, you click here. If you want to do a live webinar, you click here. If you want to see all of your listing of events, you click here. Your recordings, your presentation files. If you want to know how to get to the knowledge base here, you want to check out your subscriptions, you want to, some quick wins and watch some videos on EasyWebinar. You want to go into your accounts to manage your passwords. Maybe, you can cancel EasyWebinar from in here. All the things. How many people can you have on the Go Live Now option? So if you get the package, if you take action now, you're going to get a 100-person live engine package. So if you click go live and start a new live webinar, and I call it Bill and Ted's Adventure, right? Go live now. Now I am running live, so I'm not sure if it's going to let me. Okay, so here it takes me to a page like this. Now, I'm using EasyWebinar Live Engine right now. And if you do this, you can have up to 100 attendees when you pick up this package that you see the offer tab for, right? But the cool thing is, here's the cool thing. I want you to listen to my words here. If you go on beyond the 100, if you have more than 100 live attendees showing up, we don't cap you. We charge you for every 100 attendees after the first 100. It's $15 for additional 100 people. So we don't cap you because we didn't want to do what GoToWebinar does, which is like, it will stop people from coming into the room. If you notice that you're running 100, you're getting 300 people showing up to your webinars consistently, then you can upgrade to the next package. But generally speaking, if you're adding 200 more people to the webinar, it's only costing you $30 additional per live webinar. It's nothing, right? So done automatically. Yeah, it's all done automatically. It's charged automatically. If you have any more attendees after 100, it's going to charge your credit card $15 up to 100 additional attendees. If you go to 200 or 300, it's going to be $30. Okay. So I want you to be crystal clear on this. We don't put a cap on this. Because we wanted to make sure that we would grow with you, because you're going to make way more if you have 200 people waiting to come into a room. You're going to make way more from a live webinar with those people than the measly $15 we're charging for that additional 100, or $30 for 200. Right? Does this make sense? Right? So the answer, Colin, is that if you get this package, it's up to 100. Now, if you go straight to our sales page, you can have we have a 500 person room, we have a 2,000 person room, and basically every package we have also goes by the same the same principle, the same elements of, if you go every 100 additional, it's going to be $15, right? But so the answer is, how many people can you go on live? And how many attendees can you have? Basically unlimited. Because with our EasyWebinar Enter Live Room here, you can have an unlimited number, and we'll scale up for you, right? If you use YouTube Live, you automatically get unlimited attendees in the live room, no matter what, right? Because we're using using YouTube as the hosted video platform. So it doesn't cost us anything if you have 5,000 people showing up. No, YouTube doesn't necessarily suck, because the reason YouTube isn't as awesome as this is because it has a delay. It has like probably a 15-20 second delay. But the thing about YouTube is that you can roll in Wirecast, which is a third-party encoder system for running YouTube Live, basically, which gives you the ability to do multiple cameras. So if you're going to do, so a scenario for that is, let's say you have, you have a massive webinar where you want to have 10,000 people showing up, you have multiple cameras and stuff like that. YouTube is an awesome opportunity to do that. With EasyWebinar, yes, you could do a 4K camera, but it's generally speaking not going to be more than one camera angle. Does this make sense? This format is best, clear, no issues. Yeah, it's in real time, and that's what people love about our system, especially the live engine. But we wanted to also give you the opportunity to use YouTube Live as well. So basically, that's how that works. But again, as I said, EasyWebinar is basically an automated webinar creator, right? And so and a live event creator as well. So it creates the registration page, thank you page, event page. For an automated webinar, you basically can select from a previous session, right? A live webinar, a previous live webinar, right? Select it, and then it will push that video right into the event video for an automated webinar. That's why Webinar Jam sucks. Casey, regarding the PowerPoint slide, is there a way to go step by step through the different parts of the slide, or do we have to appear all at once? In other words, is there a way to animate the slides? Yes, if you upload PowerPoint, you can animate the slides. I just did it where I just uploaded PDF just because I don't necessarily care about the animation, but you can definitely upload a PowerPoint presentation into EasyWebinar and it will animate those slides slide to slide, right? Because it's PowerPoint and you can do that with PowerPoint. But for EasyWebinar, or for this event, and I was showing you my slides, I was just using a PDF upload of the slides. Does that make sense? Do you have to press any special buttons in order for it to work? No, I mean, the cool thing is the arrows are at the bottom. You just click next slide, next slide, next slide, next slide, next slide, and it works. And if you need training on any of that, you can go to support.easywebinar.com. We'll show you a lot of the training on how to use some of those new features that we have, with the slide presentation and stuff. So anyway, a couple other things. The replay page. I love this replay page, and I'm going to tell you why. The majority of time, people don't have replay pages that are set up properly. They don't have scarcity on the replay page. So what we do is we will allow you to set up like specific dates. If you're going to do like a webinar launch where you run a live webinar, and then you want to do a launch where you're launching, you have the replay expire, it can be date based, right? So you put the date and time that you want to do that, right? So if I'm like running a live webinar in September, on the 2nd, I can say that my replay is going to end, let's say, on the 6th, and it's going to have a countdown on that replay, right? I can display the countdown. I can have a redirect deciding on where I want to send them after the replay page expires, right? It could expire to this offer's over, or some other like, hey, the discount's over, but now you can get full price, and then you can set up the replay to be a replica of the main event or build out a custom one. And I love building out a custom one. I'm going to tell you why. It's really cool. Building out a custom replay, if people watch the webinar, you can make your replays less time. So like if your webinar is 3 hours long, I would put your replay in as an abbreviated version, and you can build it out. You can set up the video differently. You can have a chat box on there. You can also, this is really cool, have offers that are enabled on the replay that you can then, and you could do all this for the live too, by the way, right? If you notice, the live page and the replay page build out looks kind of the same. That's because that's how it's done, basically. All of the offers that we push out, you can have all of these trigger a tag in your favorite autoresponders. So here's Infusionsoft. So I can have a saw offer but didn't click tag, and have a follow-up email going out based on those actions, right? This is really cool. So you can do it for the live page, and you can do it for the replay page separately. So you could have saw replay offer. So now you know how many people bought off of the replay page versus how many people bought off of the live page, right? So you can track that data, and know how things are running. The problem with most webinar platforms is it doesn't give you that much data. We give you the data. We pass the data through your CRM systems so that you have more knowledge about what's happening with your webinars, so you can make your webinars better and better and better, right? How much more is each subscriber for agency model after 5? If you go in, let me go in to show you that. Subscriptions, let's leave. So in mine, it doesn't show that I can do the upgrade in mine because I have like an old account. But in other accounts, it lets you not only purchase the upgrade, but then you can go beyond. So I believe it's about $20 or $30 for an additional beyond the 5 from the back end. I don't have it listed here because my account's sort of special. I've had this account for a while, so it's just not showing up here. So I could charge $97 a month for EasyWebinar coaching and include EasyWebinar. Yes, you could. You could do that and add on new people, right? So you could be a reseller, right? And you would pay us 20 and you charge 97. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it could work. So if you have a large community that you want to get this to, you could do this. Kim Walsh does this with lead pages. That's so cool. Okay. So I mean, I would love to bring in more people that want to be at this level. If you know more people that need something like this, let me know. But yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something you could do. Once you come in, you'll see that you can get access to that. You can add on 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and keep on going. So it's pretty cool stuff. One thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share, before I have to head on out because I have to pick my son up from school, I'm actually very quickly going to share with you some of our more recent peeps that are coming in to EasyWebinar. This is just me going on the fly, literally going into my page here and grabbing some social proof. Here's Mark, who actually made mention today, right? You guys rock. You're always adding new functionality. Love EasyWebinar. Just ran my first auto webinar last week, made 8,000. That was just from today. Here's Bob Proctor, who's using EasyWebinar. Very cool stuff. This was Bob. They just recently rolled this out. We did some customization work for them. So if you guys, if you're someone who wants also customization, we are not above doing that. Like especially for top influencers, we'll come in, we'll help you guys get it set up, do some really cool stuff. Who else do I have? Jeremy Allison, I totally forgot about the bonuses. Haven't even needed to go to them. I was up and running perfectly fine in under an hour with EasyWebinar. Here's Tanya. Eliza, I told you I had another Tanya. She said, I want to take 2 minutes to share this amazing thing with the team. I run 2 very successful automated webinars for the last 2 years, and about a month ago, we were scrambling to find a new platform to use because our old one was giving us major grief and we were losing a lot of money. I bought EasyWebinar last year and didn't have everything we needed, so we put it on the back burner and waited to see if it would get the features we asked for. Casey said they were coming, but I needed to wait. Not only did Casey and the team create the features we needed, but they have some of the best support I've ever seen in our space. We finally have everything moved over to EasyWebinar. It's running perfectly, so much better than before, with no complaints or streaming issues or anything. And our revenue has slightly increased too. It's so great to be aligned with you guys, and thank you so much for caring about your clients and taking care of us the way you do. It means the world to me. Thank you for listening to my requests, and here's to many years to come. Love you guys. This is basically the type of thing that we look for. And there's other people I posted out there one day. I basically live with Facebook ads, EasyWebinar, and Fusionstaff most days. How about you? And I had Mike Heiser, who runs Todd Herman's stuff. He said Facebook ads, EasyWebinar, and Fusionsoft, and WordPress. Tina, Facebook ads, EasyWebinar, and Fusionsoft. Chris Evans said EasyWebinar for life. He runs traffic and funnels. They do $5 million a year in consulting, and they use EasyWebinar as a backbone. EasyWebinar training, video, and platform seems like a breath of fresh air to me. Thank you, Casey, and my ClickFunnels friends who referred me. So if you're a ClickFunnels user, we love and support you guys. We have you can use your ClickFunnels pages with our system, and it works really, really well. In fact, you can see EasyWebinar added to a ClickFunnels page here. Watch this. Here is one of my high-end funnels. This is a high-ticket funnel that I have running, automated from Instagram ads, right? It sells my high-ticket coaching program that teaches you how to become a webinar expert, become a webinar consultant, and if you're someone just want to get in clients through the door, it's going to teach you how to do that. We give you this. We're the software guys, and we're the guys that will teach it to you. But anyway, this is on a ClickFunnels page, and this is using one of our pages. I think I also have Jay Shetty as well. Let me see, jayshetty.me/webinar. I don't know if that's it. Let's see. That might not actually. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. So here's Jay Shetty, and this is using EasyWebinar as well, right? This is a fully editable widget that you can add to any page. And if you don't know Jay Shetty, he's probably one of the top, motivational millennial entrepreneurs out there. He's doing great stuff, and he's been running a webinar. Had a lot of people coming into this webinar, worked perfectly, had a 55% conversion rate for show up. It was really, really great stuff. So basically, that is how EasyWebinar works. If you guys want to see, let me go into one of my events. For Evergreen, you go to publishing option. This is where you build out the registration widget, right? You can basically, it'll give you the code. You can use one of our built-in images, right? You can use the event registration widget, which is just the code itself, and add that behind any type of button, or you can use our widget and button. So this is what your button would look like, and you can change the button color. You can change, like I could change this to like red if I wanted to. I could change the font size, right? I could change the button height, so you can make the button bigger too, if you wanted to, right? You can make the button bigger, the font bigger, and it gives you a lot of cool opportunity to like just change. You can also change the font to lobster. You can change it to whatever you want to match your brand, right? And so very cool stuff. You can add and whatever, make the text whatever you want. Click here, or buy now or whatever. And then you can add this to your page, right? And you just copy this. If it's ClickFunnels, you go into where I was before. Do you guys need me to show that to you, or are you all set? We have videos that will show you how to do this, by the way. It's super simple. You just take the copy here. You can add it to any button on a ClickFunnels page and stuff like that, or a lead pages page, or an Insta page, any third-party page, Wix, whatever. You can add it. Optimize press, whatever you want. So anyway, that is, that's some of the stuff that EasyWebinar going to do. I'll show you one more webinar with, actually, let me go with Amy Porterfield, webinar masterclass. Let me see if this is it. Okay, here it is. Here's Amy's. This is using also EasyWebinar. Again, you can see that people can set up these future times for the automated webinars. You can stream it out in every 15-minute increments as well. So you have multiple opportunities. The way Amy is using the system, so we have a webinar starting in 1 minute. I'm actually going to register and come in. She's actually using her own thank you page too, okay? So you can actually do this. If you don't want to use our thank you page, all you have to do is go in here and activate this and add your own thank you page right here, right? So that's how that works. And then basically now I'm getting an email from Amy that's inviting me to the workshop. So she's using her own thank you pages. And the only difference is now that I'm getting an invite from Gmail from basically Amy, right? And here it is right here. Yeah, here it is. Here it is right here. Let me just show you. Here's the email with the invite for the workshop that is starting literally in 1 minute. We click here. It's going to take us to an EasyWebinar countdown page that she was able to optimize, right? You can see. And we got 41 seconds, and then it's going to download. So my question is, how many of you are still here that are not EasyWebinar customers? And if you're not EasyWebinar customers, have you already come in And if you've already come in, please let me know. I'd love to know if you are already in the system already. Let me know, let me know, let me know. For those of you who have already come in, please let me know. Yeah. And if that link works, that is coming to that special page. So here, we're gonna, in 5 seconds, and then in 5 seconds, I actually, guys, I'm gonna go in about 1 minute. I'm gonna take off because I have to pick up my son. So again, now is the time to come in, especially if you want to get those special bonuses as well. Here is Amy. Here's what her page looks like. We are able to do some modification customizations, but basically it's playing in real time. Tap the volume, turn it on.
Things to make sure you have the best viewing experience possible.
Right.
Number one, turn off everything that is operating in the background of your computer.
And the other cool thing is, like, if you refresh this page, it's not going to start from the beginning. It's going to start 30 seconds in. See, it's playing in real time. No matter what device you watch from, it plays in real time. And that's the power of it. I'm loving this. I've put off doing webinars for a few months. It's time to pull the trigger. Alan, yes, get on it. Have some agency question. Is there a phone number to call? Yeah, if you want to talk to Skip Foster, let's see, I can save the link for the agency. And what I'll do is, if you want the phone number to call, it's on our pricing page. Let me give you the phone number if you want to call in. Here's the phone number right here. So you save that. I will mention, and is this Bill? I'll mention Bill that to Skip that you will be calling about the Bill will be calling about the agency level to the okay. So there we go. So you are all set. Yeah, you can ask. Okay, guys, that's it from me. I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for being here. For those who have stuck around, I really appreciate it. Carlos, Dominique, Amy, Cecile, Carlos, Austin, Dave, Alan, Lamari, Bill, everyone else who's still here. Love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. And I am going to get going. And again, come into EasyWebinar if you can. It's the tool that I know you guys are going to love. All right. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. And click on that button at the top. You should do it right now before I end this event. So do it. There you go. See you guys. Bye-bye.